everybody, welcome back. September 11th, National Hot Cross Buns Day. Never did hot cross buns before, ever. I don't even think I've ever eaten a hot cross bun. But today, we're going to try them. And it's going to be a love-hate relationship with this one. Today, I can tell already. Why? I love that you dump everything into one bowl and you mix it. That's about the only thing I love about it. The hate part is we got currants in it, which they're like little mini raisins. They look like mini raisins. They probably taste like mini raisins. We'll have to see. That's one thing. The other thing is this is one of those doughs. We're starting real early today because this is one of those doughs that you have to mix it, let it rise for a couple hours, come back, cut it into smaller ones to make your buns, let that rise for another hour. So this is one of those ones that just, you know, plan on something else to do or watch a movie in between in between letting the dough rise and stuff. It's going to be crazy. Anyway, so we got all our stuff here. Let me tell you what we need for today. Let's get started, get this one going, because it's going to be an all-day affair. Alrighty, be back. Okay, for our hot cross buns today, 1 envelope of yeast, a cup of milk, 3 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour, a half a cup of sugar, 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice, 2/3 cup of currants, a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of lemon zest, a teaspoon of orange zest, a 1/4 cup or half a stick of unsalted butter, melted, 2 eggs, and that's it. Alright, let's get started today on this labor of love, okay? We got our milk in a bowl here. We're going to add a little bit of our sugar. Just add like a tablespoon, if even that. And then we're going to mix our yeast right into that. We warmed up our milk a little bit in the microwave, but not hot by any means. You'll kill the yeast that way. Just warmed it maybe like 30 seconds or so. Okay? And now we're just going to leave our yeast, put that off to the side. That'll bloom for a little bit, okay? In our mixing bowl, for our mixer, we put our flour, okay? We're going to add our salt, the rest of our sugar, our pumpkin pie spice, and our lemon and orange zest, okay? We're just going to add those right to that and just mix that all together, okay? Okay, next I have my melted butter and my 2 eggs. Make sure you let that melted butter cool down, okay? And we're just going to whisk together the eggs and the butter, okay? Okay, so then put your flour, your bowl with your flour back, dough hook, okay? We're going to add to this, low speed, you can start it going on low speed, add your eggs to this. Your eggs and butter. Use a spatula would be better. There we go. Okay, add your eggs and butter to that. And then you're also going to add your bloomed yeast and milk to that, okay? Without spilling it all over the counter. Okay, and then finally just add your currants to this. And you just want to add them until they're mixed. Mix it until they're mixed in, okay? You don't have to overwork the dough anymore or anything like that. We're just trying to incorporate these into the dough. Okay, and that's it today. As you can see, that's all mixed together. Let's get all of this off the hook. Okay, it's a little tacky. It's a lot tacky. That's okay. Oh, I see this what I hate about these kind of doughs. You can't even floured surface. You want to try to get all this stuff off the hook, but it sticks more to your fingers than it does to anything else. But anyway, okay. So now what we're going to do is dump this onto this floured surface here. Okay. So you can see it's extremely stiff. Extremely stiff dough. Look at that. Alrighty. I might have to get in there and really scrape this thing out of here. Okay, so there's our dough on our floured work surface, okay? Just want to kind of knead this a little bit. Now, this better be a really good biscuit or roll or whatever, bun, whatever it is, because it's not the only thing that's hot today. As you can see, it's another 90-degree day here in Jersey, and of course, I gotta bake. Gotta turn my oven on. Things I do for this show, I'll tell you. Anyway, got all our flour here. Here we're just kneading this all together. So then what you're going to do is form this into a ball. Okay, try to pinch it all to the bottom here. Make a nice round ball. Okay, we have a greased, vegetable oil greased bowl here. We've done this before when we've done some of our other breads and stuff, that you just kind of throw it in here, toss it around, coat it with the vegetable oil. Okay, get it nice and smooth, and that's it. Okay, what we're going to do now, cover this with plastic wrap. We're going to put it in a warm place or draft-free place for a couple hours to rise. If it's warm, that helps. What I like to do is keep it in my oven. Now obviously you don't turn the oven on, but before I put it in the oven, like a good 20 minutes or so before, I will I'll turn the broiler on. Not the oven, the broiler. Just to give a little bit of warmth to the oven. Just to make sure that it's a little warm. And then I shut it off, and then I let it cool down a little bit, but that residual heat from the broiler will make it a warm spot, not a hot spot, warm spot for this to rise, because this has to rise for like an hour and a half, 2 hours or so. Okay? So seal that up real good. Into our place. We'll see it when it's doubled in about an hour and a half, 2 hours. See you in a little while. Go watch a movie. I'm going to go watch a movie or have some coffee or do something. Alrighty? See you later. I took our dough out. As you can see, it's been a little while. And as you can see, it's risen up and doubled pretty much in size. So I'm just going to dump that out onto my floured surface here. It smells very orangey, zesty, pumpkin-y, I guess. So we're just going to knead this a little bit here. Okay, on our work surface. So there's our dough. What we're going to do now is let's roll it into kind of a log here, if we can. Actually, we'll cut this in half. Okay, cut that in half and just roll this into, oops, we're getting some stick action here. Let me cut it from that cut side of it. Okay, just roll this into a bit of a log here, okay? Now we have one of our logs here. We're going to kind of have it and then cut it into, I guess, try to cut it into even pieces. That's why you always cut the middle part first. It's going to be hard to cut even because the end ones might be smaller. And what you're going to do is just, same thing, just like we did with the big ball, just kind of gather it on the bottom and make them into smaller balls, okay? Now, it's kind of hard to do to make it round and even, but onto your baking sheet here, parchment lined baking sheet, I'm going to try to do, I guess since it's making, it looks like 6, I'm going to do 6 of them on each tray. Okay, just try to make it, smooth it out, gather it as best you can, so you have a nice smooth dome top. Okay, 6 on each. Going to roll these out. Then what we're going to do is we're going to cover them, and they got to sit for another hour. This is why I said it's one of those long days. It's going to sit for another hour and rise again, okay? And then we'll be ready to bake them because we got to egg wash them first. So don't turn your oven on yet. I'll let you know when to do that when we come back. Okay, so we let them rise for another hour. As you can see, they got nice and puffy. We preheated our oven 375. Now we're just going to take an egg, beat it with a little water or milk, okay, just to make an egg wash, and we're going to brush the top of our buns here so that way they get that nice shiny golden color on the top, okay? So we're going to do this, pop them into our oven about 20-25 minutes till they're nice and golden brown, and we're going to take them out, and then comes the cross part. They are hot cross buns, so we got to make the cross for our hot buns, alrighty? So we'll see you when these come out. Okay, our buns are in the oven. Our buns are in the oven. And we're going to make our glaze now to make our cross, okay? So I have about 1.5 cups of powdered sugar, 1 egg white that I'm going to add to that, okay? I'm just going to gently mix this in for now until I get it kind of wet because I don't want to splash it all over my counter. You also can add a little bit of milk just to kind of turn it into that syrup because that's what you want to make out of this. Okay, so they've been cooling down a little bit. Here's our royal icing that we made. Now what we're going to do is just make a cross, okay? You can use a piping bag if you want to, but you know how much I hate a piping bag. So I'm just going to try to do this as neatly as possible. Okay, which is impossible. Alrighty, there they are, all crossed. Let's give it a taste, see what we got here. I mean, they're real cakey, as you can see. It's like a sponge cake almost. Hey, you know what? That ain't half bad. See? Somebody agrees with me. It tastes like something though. I'm trying to think what it reminds me of. Like another kind of cake. Like I said, maybe it's carrot cake. Or banana bread or something. It reminds me of something else. I kind of like them a lot. I think they're really good. They're not too sweet, which is good. So when you put that icing on it, that adds your little touch of sweetness. I don't really notice the currants at all, maybe because they're so small that I mean, they're in there, but when I'm eating it, I don't really taste them. Like an Entenmann's Danish. Like a Entenmann's coffee cake or something like that. That's not, the more I eat it, the more I'm thinking. Anyway, these are really, really tasty. I'm really enjoying these a lot. I think I'm going to have a couple of these and get myself another cup of coffee or a glass of milk or something. Alrighty. Hot cross buns. Never made them before. Came out great. Why not make them yourself? We'll see you tomorrow, everybody.